This is the playoffs, baby. This is the playoffs, baby. You lose, you go home. This is all about who doesn't want to go home the most.
Baby. Enjoy this great game.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. My name is Eric, and today we're going to talk about the most important series to keep an eye on as the 2020 MLB season winds down. It has been the most wild, the most unpredictable, the most bizarre season in the history of the game. There are teams that had zero chance, according to most people, coming into 2020 that are right there in a playoff spot, including the Miami Marlins. The Chicago White Sox are in first place. Now, I actually predicted that preseason, but I was called a variety of interesting names for saying that, and it looks like I'm going to be right. The White Sox are right there in first place. The Red Sox are in last place, and the San Francisco Giants, yes, the San Francisco Giants are right there in a playoff hunt. It's absolutely nuts. It's absolutely fantastic, and we are getting ready for the last week of the MLB season. What is going to happen? What has to happen? That's what we're going to try to figure out here in this video. This is a season where we have expanded playoffs, and I'm not a huge fan of it. One of the downsides, at least for this year, is that it's not really easy to figure out who's in and who's not in, especially if there's going to be ties. So let's try to make sense of the tiebreaker rules for 2020. Obviously, the two teams not at first or second place with the best records would be in as the 7th and 8th seed. So it's really not that difficult until you got a tie. And there's a strong chance that some teams are going to be tied in this shortened season, and there's not going to be time to play any extra games, which would have been awesome. It would have been really cool if we could have had some play-in games, but that's not happening this year. So they're going to determine it by the following method. Number one, head-to-head record. Now, due to the fact that teams are only playing within their division, this might not even be applicable. For example, the Giants, they don't have a head-to-head record with the Reds or the Brewers or the Phillies or anyone else that's not in the West. So if that doesn't work, you got to go to the intra-divisional record. The intra-divisional record is obviously how your record is against the other teams within your division. And if you're still tied, then you go to the record in the final 20 division games and you add one until the tie is broken. So there will be no ties. I will say that this system is pretty good in at least saying that there's no way there's going to be a tie. We're going to figure it out one way or the other. So let's start with the American League just briefly, because the American League is pretty much figured out. The 7th and 8th seeds are starting to form, and it's going to be the Blue Jays and the Indians. They've both created some space between themselves and some of the other playoff hopefuls like the Orioles and the Mariners, and unless something crazy happens, it'll be the Blue Jays and Indians in the playoffs as the 7th and 8th seed. And let's take a look at what the playoffs would look like in the American League if the season ended
today.
You got the Toronto Blue Jays at the Tampa Bay Rays, and obviously that would be a lot of fun. The Blue Jays have a legit chance to take out the Rays, and that would pretty much be the case for any series in baseball. That's why I love baseball. Although I'm not a fan of the expanded playoffs, it is pretty cool that 8th seeds would take out first seeds all the time. I don't know, maybe it's not cool, but it would be kind of cool at least to see it this year. You got other sports like basketball where it's extremely rare. Last time I remember it, it's probably happened other times, but I remember the Warriors did it, I believe in 2007 against the Mavericks. I believe they were an 8th seed that year, but it is very rare. Then you'd have the Indians and the White Sox. Wow, unbelievable. Astros and A's, Yankees at Twins, and the Twins fans got to be like, oh God, not the Yankees. Every time that matchup happens in the playoffs, the Yankees win. In fact, Twins are just bad at playoff baseball. They make it all the time, and they just lose really quickly, unless you go all the way back, of course, to 91 when they won the World Series. But lately, the Twins have struggled, and best of luck to them in making a nice push to the World Series this year. So that's the American League. In the National League, it's not so clear. There's a lot of teams that are very close to a 500 record. They're all bunched together. Some are going to get in. Some are going to be left out. Some, like the Marlins and Cardinals, are in second place right now. So they're in, but they could even go on a losing streak and fall out altogether because they're pretty close to 500. So for the purposes of this analysis, we're going to concentrate on the teams not in first or second place. We'll talk a little bit about the Marlins and Cardinals, but right now they're in. So let's talk about the teams that are fighting for a wild card spot, and they include the Phillies, the Reds, the Milwaukee Brewers, and of course, the San Francisco Giants. As of right now, the Reds are 1 game above 500. The Phillies are at 500. The Brewers and Giants 1 game below 500. Of these teams, however, only the Brewers and Reds have played each other, and the Reds have the better head-to-head record against Milwaukee, having won 4 and only lost 3. So right now, the Reds have the slight advantage over the Brewers, and they have the better record right now. Reds are looking pretty good. They're also hot. So let's check out, though, how the intra-divisional records look, because that's where we got to go to next, assuming there's a tie. And right now, the Phillies, 20-17. Marlins, 20-17. We'll mention that even though they're in second place. Cardinals, 19-16. We'll mention that even though they're in second place. Then you got the Reds at 19-18. Brewers come in next with a 500 intra-divisional record, 16-16. And then finally, the Giants, 15-17. As it stands, the Giants have the short stick as far as interdivisional record. The good news is, with 3 games remaining against the Rockies and then 4 against the Padres, Giants have every chance to get that record better, to improve that record, and try to get into those playoffs. They have to just win games. Right now, that's all you have to do. It is confusing with the other games. We're going to talk a little about the other series that we have to keep an eye on. But at the end of the day, if you're a Giants fan, you just got to root for the Giants to win games. We'll watch the other series, try to figure it out, try to make sense of it. But if the Giants win games, they're going to be in. But one series to keep an eye on is the Reds and Brewers. They're going to play again tonight. They're going to play again tomorrow night. These are huge games that could absolutely flip the script on who we expect to see in October. After that, the Reds finish their season with 3 against the Twins, and that's an important series. An even more important series is going to be the 5-game series between the Cardinals and the Brewers. That is definitely going to seal the fate of those teams, and it's going to have a massive effect on other teams as well. Obviously, with the Cardinals already in, it might be best to go ahead and root for them, unless, of course, you're a Brewers fan, because the Cardinals winning that will just ensure they're going to be in. They're already there in second place, and it will take the Brewers out of the equation for the wild card, at least hopefully. That's going to be a huge series to keep an eye on. And obviously, like I said, Reds, Twins, you're going to be rooting for the Twins. Go Twins all the way. Unless you're a Reds fan, all due respect to Reds fans, go Reds. But obviously, as a Giants fan, if you're a Brewers fan, Marlins, whatever, you're definitely going to want the American League team to beat up on the Reds. Also, the Philadelphia Phillies. There's so many teams here in the equation. You got to keep an eye on the Phillies. They're playing 3 against the Nationals and then 3 in Tampa Bay. Again, no reason to root for the Phillies unless you're a Phillies fan, because the Nationals are not getting in. And the Rays are getting in, and they're in first place, but they're in the American League anyway. So there's really no reason to root for the Phillies unless you're a Phillies fan. So we got to keep an eye on those series. But remember, the Phillies are playing well. They got Aaron Nola. They got Zach Wheeler. They're going to get at least 2 starts each out of both of them. So this is going to be a team that is going to try to make that push and get into October, and they have a chance. The last team to keep an eye on is the Marlins. Remember, the Marlins are in a spot, but they could go on a losing streak. They could fall out completely, or they could even take the division because they got a 4-game series against the Braves. More than likely, you'll probably want to root for the Braves, unless you're one of the 12 Marlins fans out there.
A joke. He made a joke.
And then after the Braves series, Miami goes on to play the Yankees. That's going to be tough too. So we're going to definitely want to keep an eye on Miami. So that's it, guys. It's just a lot of games to keep an eye on, a lot of big series. As far as the Brewers-Reds, that is huge. The Cardinals-Brewers is massive. That is going to be a huge series. 5 games right there. So much can happen. So much could change. At the end of the day, if you're a Giants fan, you just got to root for the Giants to win. You win, you're going to be in. I mean, it's simple as that. If the Giants can come out here and win the next 3 against the Rockies and then take even 2 out of 4 against the Padres, that should be more than enough to get them in. But they're going to have to win. They can't go out there and just keep losing games like yesterday. So we'll see what happens, guys. And I want to give a sincere good luck to all the teams, all the fans of the teams that are currently in this battle. This is going to be wild. This is going to be nuts. I can't wait. This is going to be so fun to watch these games. We're going to keep an eye on them. We're going to continue to talk about them. Keep on watching the pre and post games, and keep an eye out for play-by-play full games right here on the Humm Baby Baseball channel. Playoff baseball's coming soon. I'm so glad we got a season this year. You guys have a fantastic day. Let me know who you think is getting in. What do you guys think? It's going to be nuts. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Talk to you guys next time. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up button also. See you guys next time. See ya! Thank you so much for checking out that video. This is Eric, and if you're a fan of Humm Baby Baseball, please check out our store at humbabybaseball.com/store. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have hats, and we have much more on the way, so you can check out everything we have right there, including the Umpire Strikes Back, one of our many t-shirts. So I would really appreciate if you guys could check that out. Have a fantastic day. We're going to talk to you later.
When the Giants come to town, it's 5